joint started. Let's get this joint on the road, man. Sorry for the delay, everybody, man. If everybody just now coming in, we had some technical difficulties slash
Hey,
lots of things, but hey, we got it together and we all good, man. We back.
hey,
Welcome back to Soul Saturdays. We are live, and today we are talking sneaker authentication in general. Got a few topics we want to go over, man. Y'all know me. I'm Jeremy Jones, and of course, I got my homeboy on. Introduce yourself.
hey, what's up, everyone? You guys know me by now as Devin Dunks.
Yeah, so ain't nobody really just chimed in just yet. We just got started, but we're gonna roll on with the show and just get things started. So, one of the things I really wanted to stay out first, as y'all see at the bottom of the screen, make sure y'all follow the Instagram at the bottom of the screen, man. If y'all haven't started following it, because that's where if you want to keep up with the channel as far as whenever we're gonna go live, and if anything changes last minute, we're gonna start putting it on there for sure. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right in. Right? Check, right? They
Oh,
kind of been
yeah,
on the
okay.
hot seat as of last week, right? Okay. Now, if you're
Yeah,
not familiar with what Check is, it's an authentication app. Like y'all know me, man. And I could go on forever about this topic, but I'm gonna just sum it up. It's a authentication app where basically you take pictures through your smartphone and you send them through Check app. They have several different options, and it's not really super expensive, but I don't know if y'all have caught wind of things, but things it actually shut down. I want to say it's been shut down for like 2 weeks now, right? Okay, rumors is they've been hacked, but I
yeah.
want to kind of get things started on that. What are your take on that so far, man? Did you look into it like I asked you to?
I looked into it. Yeah. And from what I see, from what I saw, I'm sorry, from what I've seen, and just videos I've watched, uh, yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. It's saying where they were shut down. Uh, but what's funny about that is, yeah, okay, yeah, the website can be shut down, but would that require the Instagram and all of that social media to be shut down? You know?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's one thing getting hacked, but then y'all got hacked. They got hacked so bad that everything had to get shut
I mean,
down.
yeah, they're completely shut down, like from the, from the actual site itself to your Instagram, all
Now,
your social media, pretty much.
Now I don't know if you know how deep the rabbit hole goes on Check app, man. But
No, no, I'm actually like trying to read up on it as we discuss it, so it's just so to get a better understanding of check, because like I said, this one is fairly new to me, I've never really
right.
had much experience with
So
them, so
so my homie is new to the sneaker game. He don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes, so to speak. So I'm gonna just spun y'all up a little bit too. So basically, and this is all allegedly because I ain't trying to have nobody sue me. This is just based off research and knowledge that I've gathered myself. But Check app basically is an authentication service, and I've always had, let's say, I've always and this not any this live is not directly at Check out. This is at sneaker authentication in general. They just happen to have their heads on the chopping block last week and this week. But I've always questioned sneaker authentication in general. And one thing, doing it in person versus doing it through an app, right? Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's I hate when people, I'm gonna put it this way, people hit me in my DMs all the time on my Instagram and send me pictures of shoes, and they're like, "Hey, do you think these are legit? Do you think these are real?" And I'm just like, man, honestly, all these pictures look good. I don't respond to people, by the way. I'm not going to respond to you, but in my head, when I do glance at it, I'm like, all these look real. So there's no way, to me, it's really hard to tell through pictures. I mean, they help, but the only way to really truly authenticate a sneaker, and I'm gonna put that in quotations because we're gonna go deeper into the live how I truly feel about it. But I feel like to get that final say so, you gotta have it. You need to feel it. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
oh yeah, everything obviously should be tangible, you should be able to check and feel the actual product rather than going off the naked eye,
Right.
because back to what you said, with check, they were going off of pictures that people were sending in. So of course, hey, to the naked eye, yeah, it's real. Yeah, it looks real. Of
Right.
course, hey, just sell me your shoe,
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say whether they're scammers or not. I don't know. To It's all opinionated at the end of the day. Make your own best judgment is what I like to say, right? But at the end of the day, I for me. for me. And I don't know if you notice, is a lot when Check Check app was booming. A lot of your bigger sneaker YouTubers, and I ain't gotta say no names. I ain't finna put nobody. I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus. But a lot of them were obviously you can tell it was like they had some type of deal where it's like advertised for them. Your bigger sneaker YouTubers were saying like, "Oh, they don't know it's me." Like, yes, they do. They know it's you. No offense, and I'm sorry, I don't believe you, and I'm not there working with them, but I know they know that they're working with you because obviously, if you're sending an affiliate link, you have some type of deal with them, whether it's little to no money or you got something where if somebody use your code, you get a certain percentage off of it. However, if people aren't familiar with how affiliate programs work, but
Hmm.
yeah, so I never I always felt it was a gimmick in my opinion, allegedly. So I just don't think that, and I can say that about all the sneaker authentication things across the board because it's more than just them. They just happen to be on a chopping block. Now, the reason for them getting shut down, I don't think more so people just finally got tired of the BS because they got called out. But when you run your own Instagram, you can make that stuff disappear. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So, and then whenever you think Check app, you got to mention um Band LA and Urban Necessities. Now,
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with either one of those companies, but I will
We
say
actually
this.
have. I think we have an
You're
urban
in Vegas,
necessities.
so
Yeah,
I would
we
think
have
you
an
would
urban
be
necessities.
familiar with
Yeah,
Urban Necessities because Urban
yeah,
Necessities is in Vegas. They
yeah,
used to
yeah. We
be
have.
in they used to have a spot in New York, but they shut down for
Yeah.
whatever reason, right? And I really don't really like speaking too much on Urban Necessities because they really
Mhm.
like to run to the law if they feel like you're saying anything negative. So with that
Yeah.
being said, I am not taking shots at your brand or at your company. I'm just saying in general, when you think Check app, you got to think Band LA because Band LA would have a Check station inside their store, which Band LA obviously is in LA, right? But the reason I tie it along with Urban Necessities is because when you Google Band LA and you pull
Hmm.
up the owner, you will know that the owner of Band LA and Urban Necessities owner, I would assume they're buds. Like they hang out, they always rep each other. You always see them in each other's videos all the time. So to me, right, what it looks like from the outside looking in, they're buddies. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but with that being said, now to me, that makes me think if CheckCheck app is skeptical and Ban LA uses CheckCheck app to authenticate their sneakers, now it's like, okay, well, they're hit or miss through an app. Now, Urban Necessities,
Mm.
now it makes me think, okay, well, how legit is their stuff really?
I mean, I'm not
You
gonna
know,
speak on
see how deep that rabbit hole just went right there. You
Oh
ain't even
yeah,
know,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
ain't even know.
Yeah. We're just gonna leave that subject alone. We don't want to speak on
I mean, but
line.
you can't speak Check app and not speak Ban LA, and then you can't speak Ban LA without mentioning Urban Necessities. Again, I'm not saying they sell
Yeah.
face. I'm not saying they do anything negative, but what I am saying is I know it's very hard to authenticate in person in 2021, let
Yeah.
alone through an app. I will say that. As a person who's
Oh
been,
yeah.
you know me. How long have you known me? How long have you known I've been in the sneakers?
For the better part of almost 20 years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I still don't know everything. You will
Right.
never know everything 100% is what I'm saying. So they're throwing their experience and their years of experience really don't really wow me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know where we from, you got to make a believer out of the neighborhood we grew up in. We just don't just believe any and everything, right?
Oh yeah. Very true.
Yeah, you know
Very
what I'm
very
saying.
true.
So with that being said, like I ain't saying, like I said, I'm not saying those guys are doing anything faulty. I just find it a little bit ironic that Check app shuts down and they've been having authentication issues and their app shut down, their whole website shut down, and they've been hacked. And it just happened to ties back to Ban LA, which Ban LA and Urban Necessities are buddies. And Urban Necessities have been caught under the crossfire in a video from like back in late 2019 about subject of authenticating sneakers. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's not no reason to come at me. This is all information you literally can type in YouTube or Google, and it'll pull right up. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So answer this for me. Uh, what do you what do you think is the cause for their shutdown? You think it'll just never be officially said? It'll just be one of those things that's swept under the rug, or do you just think that there's bigger, uh, bigger services out there that Check
I
Check app will
I
just
definitely don't think it was bigger services the reason they shut down. And who knows, they may even come back and say, "Oh, we shut down temporarily to come back to make things bigger and better and blah blah blah." I don't think that's the
yeah.
reason they shut down, but
Mhm.
if I had to say the cause, what I'm assuming is with as many people was getting, it's a 50-50 chance of whether they can really truly care or not. But the one thing I think that has got people under fire is the fact that Check Check app, while it wasn't expensive, it wasn't. It's not free, or wasn't free because it doesn't
Mhm.
exist at the moment. But
Mhm.
it's not. It wasn't free, right? You had to
Mhm.
pay to get your stuff authenticated. But people would also pay and get tokens, and now they're wondering like, well, I paid all this stuff in advance. Where is do I get my money back
Yeah.
or
More people are looking for refunds than answers at this point. You know.
yeah, it's just like it's no different than say like whoever you bank with. We can say you bank with Bank of America. You got
Okay.
X amount of dollars in there. They
Yeah.
shut down tomorrow. You can't access your card don't work. You ain't got access your money. You don't know what's in there. You can't get to none of their websites. How you gonna feel?
Would be pretty hot, and I'm gonna want some answers. You know.
Right. This is the same. This is that not the same scenario?
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
people
sure, it's
have.
deep. Hopefully, nobody's invested that much money into the tokens, but at the same time, dog, money is money.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. You gotta
I don't
think.
care if it's. I
How
don't
many
care if it's
people out
50 cents. I don't care if it's
Oh
fifty
yeah,
cents.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Money
saying?
is money. Yeah, money is money. It's your money if you
Yeah, it's
earned it.
your money. You ain't trying to lose it. So
Hmm. And yeah, that's no different than a bank because you can say the same with the bank. You're investing your money into that bank and trusting that they're gonna keep your money safe. Same with these authentication sites. You're putting your trust in your money by getting these virtual tokens that you're gonna be able to trust that what you buy with from them is going to be legit and that all of your investments are safe. You know?
exactly, you're trusting these people because let's face it, the reason they're putting their trust in you, resale market isn't cheap.
No,
And
and
you don't want to. There's nothing more annoying than spending a whole bunch of money and then getting scammed on the back end.
hmm
You know,
so do you think Check Check was probably passing UAs as
I
dentist?
don't know, but see, this is the owner of Band LA, right?
Okay.
And he had a check station inside his store. But as you can see, all I did was Google Band LA. But when I Google
Hmm.
Band LA, this right here, this guy and his wife, this is the owner of Urban Necessities.
Who
Notice
Case?
how I didn't type in Urban Necessities. I just typed in Band LA.
What's his name? JC? JC. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but I think his name is like JC. I want to
Yeah,
say.
that's his name. I don't want to read. I don't even want to speak his name because I don't know. I don't do that. Mainly
Yeah.
because, like I said, I don't know. I don't know him and I don't have nothing against him personally, but I
Hmm.
just will say this. He advertised how heavy of a hustler, and he is a hustler. He
Hmm.
is. But correct me if I'm wrong. The hustlers we saw in the neighborhoods that we were growing up, right? The hustlers that we probably still don't respect them anyway. But you know what I'm saying? The people who consider themselves hustlers, the last thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, the last thing you were about to worry about them ever doing was running to court or police for anything.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did though. He did though.
Is there some game being ran?
I don't know, but my that's my thing is like I'm not knocking the hustle, but at the same
Hmm.
time, do you really want the hustler type? Can you really have the hustler title if you will run? You know what I'm saying? Hustlers usually like we could say, all right, I could say Suge Knight's a hustler, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We know he ain't running to the police. He handled his own business like a
Very
man.
true. True. True.
He's
But
in
we also
prison right
see,
now
we
for
also
some.
we see, but we see what taking matters into his own hands. We see was that Gaia.
Yeah, so maybe the urban necessities owner handled it the correct way, right? Do I feel some type of way about it? Maybe so, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of
Yeah.
those. It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's
Well, we'll
it's
just have to
on the
wait
fence.
around and see. Just have to
But
wait
yeah,
and
you
see what's going to go on.
yeah. So and that brings me up, man. Now it goes down even deeper now because I don't want to just seem like I'm picking on Band LA and Urban Necessities because I'm not. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? There's several big authentication resellers out there. We can start with Cool Kicks.
Okay.
Are they 100%
Uh,
authentic?
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna give it to him, no doubt.
Uh, I'm gonna be honest with this whole authentication topic, right?
Hmm.
I would feel more better if they would say it just needs to be worded differently, in my opinion. Because there's no way, in my opinion, how can you 100% if you don't work for Nike, you don't have doesn't bring them. Do they have ties with Nike? I doubt it, but I don't know. But my thing is this: like, how do you know? How do they know how to authenticate? What do you do to authenticate? If you didn't get it directly from a retail store or Nike or Adidas or an authorized seller that Adidas and Nike or whatever brand you put out there that is approved to sell their product, how do
I
you know
mean,
it's authentic? Let me know. How do you know?
I'm gonna say it goes probably a little deeper. They take measurements. They know what the exact scale of the shoe is supposed to be. You know, I mean, you gotta think, like you say.
You
How do
really,
we
you
know?
really think they're measuring the shoe?
I'm not there. I can't say. So I can't say that.
In your opinion, if you worked there, if you worked there, we
Uh,
don't know. We don't know
okay.
what they're.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. If I work there, after about the fifth shoe, they all look the same. And that's just my
Exactly.
opinion. That's just my opinion, though.
My point
That's not,
exactly.
and that's not to say that I'm not gonna follow the job's protocol and how they want the shoes checked and authenticated. But I'm just telling you, and my opinion, how I would see it. I would say, you know, after the fifth shoe, I'm catching tunnel vision.
Let's
I
just
mean,
keep it
I'm not
100.
checking the thread count. I'm not checking to make sure that it has 27 stars on the, you know, on the
Exactly.
toe of the shoe.
This is my thing. You see them selling a shoe. I'll ask you another question. And this
Okay.
ain't just a Cool Kicks. This is anybody that resells shoes in general. This is not anybody in particular. These are just the top resellers in the game that I'm using, for example. But this is not a shot at anybody in particular. Say you worked at a resale store, like we'll bring up Flight Club, right? Everybody knows
Okay.
about Flight Club. All
Hmm.
the celebrities shop there. You see the prices they put on even the most generally sneaker is probably gonna go for $300 at best. That was one
Hike
night.
up.
My thing
Yeah.
is now it's been said that they may have ties with Nike and Adidas. They may have a little deal, but we don't know, and they don't legally have to tell us, I guess. But my thing is this: like you literally just said, I'm gonna say this: you been working an 8-hour shift, 6 days a week. Person bring in 10 boxes of sneakers wanting to consign them. They only pay you we don't know what they get paid, but let's just say they only pay you minimum wage in your area
Okay.
and whatever
Okay.
that is. You got this person bringing in 6 boxes, another person bringing in 8 boxes, another person bringing in 10 boxes. You got a line,
Yeah.
and you see that they're selling these shoes for $300-$400 a pop, but your check ain't matching what stuff being sold. They got Complex coming through doing what, sneaker shopping with Complex, this with Complex, this with Complex. But
Yeah.
as the regular employee making minimum wage, how much do even if you love sneakers, I'll put myself even if you love sneakers, are you really finna run through and legit check? And that's the thing. How can you legit check some stuff that you've never even seen before? What's the true what's the qualifications to be a legit checker?
Well, because obviously there's obviously a model that they go off. They have an authentic shoe, and they're gonna. I would assume they're gonna grade it off of that shoe, off of the actual shoe that was made from Nike or Reebok, Adidas, whoever, whatever shoe that you're dealing with. You know.
True, but at the same time, if the shoe just came out and how do you know? How do you know? Like
Dude, I'm telling you, they have ties with Nike because there's a scale that they have to go off. You
how do
can't
you know?
create a shoe that you've never seen.
What's up, Clizzy? What's up,
Hey,
Clizzy
what's up,
Kicks?
Quizzy? How are you doing? How are you doing? But yeah, like I said, there has to be some type of ties with these big shoe companies because you can't create a shoe that nobody's ever seen. Like how can anybody grade the Yeezy these Yeezy things that just came out? How can they grade those if they get a surprise drop on Yeezy Supply?
Yeah, how can you legit check those?
Adidas,
And stuff, some
Adidas
stuff
already
Nike
did.
don't even. Not only Nike, only you have to work there, and Nike knows about it. You think they're going to tell a resale company off rip? Maybe so, but I mean,
No, no, but somebody in that company has some sort of tie with that big company. Somebody in that resale company has some ties. Because you can't be that close knitted with the brand and you're doing all this third party, you know, third party. No, that's not gonna happen. Not, like Deep Complex and all this stuff and these StockX, check, drilled, even eBay, even them. They're not doing this and Nike not
so
knowing about
take
it or saying that,
so
hey, hmm
take a look at the picture I have on the screen.
okay,
That's the owner of Urban Necessities, but he's not the focal of the picture. He's not the focus of the picture I want you to look at. You see what's behind him, right?
yeah,
That is at a sneaker con.
hmm
Now, you don't have to be a genius and know that those are shoes. He purchased all those shoes from SneakerCon to sell back in his store at Urban Necessities. Nothing illegal, nothing wrong here. But the question I would like to propose to you, do you believe, right? And this is just our opinion. Do you think he sat there and went through every single shoe behind him that he's about to sell in his store? Do you think he literally went there? Do you see all those boxes, right?
hmm
How many boxes do you think it is? Safely over 100, right?
I'm gonna give it about probably about 250
Easily
because
200 pairs of sneakers, right?
yeah,
We
it's
agree on
probably
that,
two.
right? We agree on that, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Nah, he has a team. Come on, he didn't go there alone.
I
He
don't
has a
care.
team that went
I
with him.
don't care. Let's say those guys behind him work with him.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
say he has a team of 3, 4, 5 people, but you divide it by 200. And
that
you mean to tell me they went through every last one of those sneakers and legit checked them?
I mean,
Do you think they
yeah,
did?
because he went there he probably went there for a specific shoe, knowing what shoe he wanted to buy. So that's the shoe
Dog,
he's going to focus on.
dog.
You know,
Come on, man. Come on.
obviously it would mix you up to try to buy 8 different pair of shoes, and you you don't know. You buy 4 pair of shoes and you grade just those pair. That's the only thing you're looking for. That's the only thing you're
So
looking
you
to
mean
buy.
to tell me you believe they sat there? How long do you think it would take for them to legit check every sneaker? If
Well,
they're if they're
he
thoroughly
probably
if they're
well,
thoroughly looking at the sneaker, you think? Come on, man. Come on, man. I ain't trying to. You believe what? Hey, no right or wrong answers, and I
yeah,
ain't
no,
picking no sides. I'm just saying, you, Devin Dunks, right?
yeah,
You, you work for him.
Okay.
He's a great guy. Checks
Yeah.
ain't that great, but you love sneakers. But even that first right row is probably easily 20 pairs of sneakers. Are you going to
Mm-hmm.
open every single box and open and look and make sure both of this? You got to think. And I'm going to just say
But
this, right?
I mean, you're checking tongues, tags, soles, midsoles,
Sizing, sizing.
sizing.
You got to make
You're,
sure because
you're
you could.
making sure
How
that's
many?
lining up.
How many times have people been like, "Yo"? I've had people hit me up, be like, "Yo, I got this from Godap, and they gave one shoe was a size 10 and one was a size 12. What do I do?" So he's got to check the sizing, make sure the box is lined up, whatever he considers the authentication process for whatever he considers the authentication process for legit checking, he's got to make sure that's lined up. But
Okay.
again, I'm trying to figure out is what, and I think what a lot of people are starting, I hope they're starting to put their brains together. And I was like, Nike themselves have defects on the sneaker,
Okay.
right?
That's fair to say. Yeah.
What are they doing? How do they know? How do a third party knows about
Well,
legit check?
also those shoes that Nike, they come from Nike. They have defects. Those are the shoes that go to the outlets. Those are the shoes, that they sell in the outlets that you see, you know. Like, I mean, it's still a Nike shoe. It's just, and it's still authentic. It just has maybe the maroon is just one shade off than what they like.
Well, I think it's safe to say what I would like, right? And I think what you're trying to hit at is it will maybe better. Honestly, I'm not even gonna put it on the resellers. I'm not gonna put it on the authenticators. I'm gonna bring it back to Nike. At the end of the day, it's their product. They see that there's a problem, but they're ignoring it, in my opinion. Or maybe they're doing some stuff behind the scenes and just haven't said anything yet. I don't know. But I gotta bring it to Nike, right?
Okay.
I feel like, and I know this is easier said than done, but they're worth millions of dollars. They have the brain power and the money to figure out something, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Is I feel like there should be something where we can they need something. I think at this point, and I've said this for years, they need something to separate for us to tell what's real and what's fake. Because to the naked eye, dog, to be honest,
Honestly, your best bet these days of getting a legit shoe is trying your luck
yeah.
because
But the thing is, Nike, I mean, sure, they've tried to work with the bot situation because botting is obviously a big issue. But my thing is, like, they can, I'm going to just say what my mom said, you can do a little bit better than what you're doing, period.
mm,
Period. They can do, especially now in the game, they can do a little bit better than what they're doing.
most
Um,
definitely.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't saying I'm Mr. Perfect or I would be able to do it better, but you hear the demands, you know the super hype sneakers are a problem. I mean, some sites are getting a little bit better with botting against fighting against bots, but overall, I think Nike themselves, I think it's time for them to put something on their product that maybe only they can throw about it. Because my thing is,
You mean like a
if
type of like almost like a watermark or something? So what'd you say?
something, man, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like anything. Because my thing is this: if the thing that I guess that bothers me is that Nike doesn't offer authentication service, right? Not that
Hey,
I know. Do you know?
what do you think? These silhouettes are coming from? Well, these UAs are made in China. Clearly, these Nikes are made in China.
That'll be where that's that gray area of
So what
unauthorized.
I'm saying, so what
Yeah,
I'm saying is, for the legit check, I'm saying, uh, these are the same silhouettes that's coming straight from Nike. Somebody in there is getting these silhouettes and getting them into the hands of the people who can make them and sell them. And like I say, if it's the same exact silhouette, same sizing, same scale, it's gonna be hard to tell.
exactly my point. But I that brings me to this is like, well, I'm just trying to fit. I would just like to know that why is it that third parties such as Stadium Goods, Flight Club, Round Two, Cool Kicks, State, like we can go on forever how many resellers are in the game now, right?
Hmm.
Like this is just these are just off the top of the dome. But my thing is this: why is it that they can authenticate a sneaker, but Nike does? And I get it that may be a little. That's a whole different job. A whole they think of if you really think about it though. If Nike was to offer like a legit checking or authentication service, dog, how
Yeah.
busy do you think they will be now?
Uh, Probably just as busy as any of the other sites. Honestly,
That's
I mean,
why I
but honestly,
said,
more people would go to them because it's their shoe.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. You would be like, but it's still gonna be all gimmicky and flimsy at
Well,
the
yeah.
end of the day if you think about it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
know?
I ain't trying to
Hmm.
be like rude, but like, but I do think they should be able to do something because now, like even eBay's joined the party, which is fine. I
Hmm.
shop at eBay when I look for resale sneakers, and at the same time, I look at a lot of other things. But the one thing that I like about eBay is you get to talk with the customer. Sometimes they don't respond, but you get to talk with the person that's actually selling the sneaker. But their authentication process goes through SneakerCon, which you're familiar with SneakerCon, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So basically, they offer the sneaker authentication services
Yeah,
through Sneaker.
I follow SneakerCon. So yeah, they
Yeah.
they're pretty frequent with their posting. So they drop a lot of upcomings, and so they must be pretty pretty solid behind what they do.
Yeah. I just find it a little weird. You know what I'm saying? We got some comments coming in. And Al Gonzalez. I feel like the shoe companies have their own money invested in reselling, and Nike should have a database, and the barcode should
I
be
Look,
101.
that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. I think Nike has some ties in this. There's no
Oh,
way that they don't know about this. I've been saying that from the jump.
yeah, they definitely know. Because the thing about it is, like, maybe they don't. Nike doesn't want to be the bad guy and just raise their prices to the resale prices. Because this is my thing. If they
But
raise it to the resale
Nike,
prices, if they raise it to the resale prices, would people still buy the product?
no, Nike has to compete with the resellers. That's why the prices are getting raised. That's why
I'm gonna disagree.
you
I
can
feel
tell.
like people would still buy from Nike. But the thing
Well,
is,
yeah, obviously.
but I think Nike does. They want to look like the good guy on this. You know what I'm saying? They want to look like, oh, we had no
Hmm.
idea, and we're doing the best we can to prevent
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
You
That's
know what
what
I'm
this
saying?
is going
But
back. Yeah.
because my thing is this, like, I get what you're saying is, and what I believe what you're saying is like, hey, obviously they know the resale market is crazy, and they could feed like the big companies like Flight Club and Stadium
Hmm.
Goods the legit pairs are like maybe whatever their
But see,
stock is, half
but
of
see,
it is
that's just what they get. I'm sure that there's releases. There's sectioned off. Like there's a general release, and then there's releases just to these exclusively to these shops. Because there's no way that this shoe could be here and you still have enough to sell to 20,000 people. You know,
right,
like that.
and
That
and
that
that
like
brings
there
up a
has to be
red
some money made somewhere.
that brings up a red flag if you really think about it. Like,
Yeah,
how is it?
yeah.
Think, and I get, and I don't know this, and this is allegedly. We're just having conversation here, but like maybe let's say 20,000 pairs of sneakers are made,
Hmm.
right? We everybody always knows the stock numbers now. All these bigger YouTubers know the stock numbers. I know the stock numbers. Obviously, they got to divvy it out through what Foot Locker, Foot Action, and the other little things. Say they get like what $2,000-3,000 a pop, or through
But
two
see,
three
that would
thousand
be.
pairs. Nike
I would
holds
consider
about
that.
6,000 pairs. But who to say they're not giving the top dog resellers the
They
shoe?
are.
But think about like say like cool, we'll give it to the because I think, and I'm not correct me if I'm wrong. I think like Foot Locker and them, they still have to pay for the shoe, but they don't pay full price. They get a
That
wholesale
that's
price.
that's like it's no different than Apple to Best Buy. Would Best Buy be considered a reseller? Because that coming directly from Apple is coming through a third party.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. So maybe they're doing the same. They got the same deal as Foot Locker in them.
Yeah,
The
that's what I'm
only
saying.
difference,
Yeah,
the only difference is maybe a little bit more instead of
they
like
have to raise the price because they have to make some. They have to buy the shoe from Nike, but they also still have to make some money too. You know?
right. But I'm assuming maybe Nike may raise the price as well. Say like, hey, we're only gonna get $190 off this shoe, but if we give 3,000 pairs to Flight Club and we sell them to Flight Club for $290,
Hmm.
that's double the money for them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's double the money. And I'm not saying that's what's happening, y'all, but I'm just saying like it's just food for thought. What if?
It's it's like I say.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about money. And I've always questioned
Mhm.
like, how do we know all these like expect? And the thing is, I'll pick on the top dogs. Like we can. I ain't gonna say pick on, but we can say stadium goods. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like we can easily say that. We got Alan coming in with another comment. He goes, "Is pretty much a sneaker mafia. They cut inventory and sell on the side. Who wouldn't do that if they could?
Exactly,
Especially
exactly,
wealthy people.
exactly,
The
exactly, exactly.
they probably have X people resell for them. No one gets caught.
Alan, you're
Valid
very
point.
yeah, you got some very
Yeah,
very
I think I'm gonna go ahead and
valid,
agree. I'm
very
gonna go
valid.
ahead and agree with him. He hit the
I
nail on the head.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. All these
Yeah,
companies have ties with, with outside outside business because you got to think they're not just gonna rely on Foot Locker, like you said, Foot Locker. Who else?
no, you gotta think this.
Champion.
You got to think this because people be saying like, "Oh, people win a shoe and then just sell it back, or they consign with these resale companies." Which consignment basically just means like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you the shoe um, for $300, and the company's gonna turn around and sell it for $600, and you get your $300 cut, and then they get their little cut." But it's deeper than that
Well,
because they,
the whole world is a resale market if you think about it.
yeah, but it's also deeper than that to me because think about it, like these people who actually got a storefront, they gotta they got them. They don't own the building.
No.
They got an overhead. You know what I'm saying? In so many
Mm-hmm.
words, what am I looking for? Everybody got a boss.
Hmm.
Even if you're your own boss, but if you don't own the damn building and you don't own the land, you can like we just said last week. If you don't own the building, you don't own the land, you gotta pay something. So um getting a shoe and making $20 profit off of it ain't gonna be enough. I don't care if you sell 10 of them in a
Yeah,
week or
no.
10 in a day. That's still only what, maybe what, a hundred, like $1,000.
Hmm.
And you can make that a day. But when you think, you also got to think not only overhead as far as I'm pretty sure they got a rent that's due every month,
Hmm.
light bill that comes with that because I'm pretty sure it's not included. I don't know because I don't own my own business, but I would assume employees. Even if you're paying them the minimum wage, that's three cuts right there off rip. You got to have insurance. Well, you're supposed to have insurance. You know
Yeah.
what happens if somebody falls and hurts himself? You know, some at some point the employee is somewhat responsible, just depending on the situation. But I'm with you. Is Nike? You would think Nike. You're saying you think Nike and Adidas are partially on it.
Interesting. Okay, so so from what I'm seeing, it says that the resale market in 2019 was about 16 billion, while the total sales were more like 100 billion. So you gotta think that's major numbers, and you gotta tell me that Nike knows nothing about this. Nike has no slice of that pie.
I, they, I believe the term they're looking for is like maybe like they're a silent. investors, whereas like people invest behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Who's to say they're not silent investors? Meaning, hey, yeah, we and think about it, investing for Nike doesn't actually mean well, it means money, but not coming out of the pocket. We already got the product. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me.
Hmm.
Like I got 20 shirts made back here. I'm selling them for $15.99, but I give them to Joe Schmo, and he gonna sell them for $49.99. But I want $20.99. You know what I'm saying? They still
Yeah.
gonna make money. I'm still gonna make money, and it's all legit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like they're
True.
not.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's what's going on, but like you said, if what you just read is correct with how much money is out there in the resale market,
And that was just
I just
2019.
can't imagine a company as big as Nike not wanting to eat.
Yeah,
Even
they're
though
saying
they're
they're
already even though they're already what, they're $1 million, $1 billion company?
billions. Easy.
Easily probably billions. But
Yeah,
who's to say they don't want more?
I'm saying they're saying that there was 6 billion in 2019. The shoe sales were worth 100 billion, and it's saying that they're expected to be worth 30 billion by 2030. That's what you might as well
But
say
see,
eating you away at this point. You know.
I
So
guess
you
what's
mean tell me?
contradicting for me with Nike is I don't know if you know the story, but it was a reseller. Well, it was a lady who she was like the president or something like that at Nike, and her son was reselling sneakers. He had his own resale business and stuff like that. And he got caught up. I guess I don't know what he did was illegal, but he apparently was using the Nike company credit card that is provided to his mother. This is all allegedly, but it's out there. You can Google
Mhm.
it. He was apparently using the Nike business
Employee
credit
card.
card to buy these shoes and then flip them. And the mom apparently appeared to be. They end up letting her go. I guess I don't know.
Mm.
Dan answered, "What's up, fellas? What's good, homie?"
Hey, hey, what's going on, Dan? How are you? How are you, my man?
Yeah, chime in, man. Feel free to speak up, man. Don't
Yeah,
hesitate to not say
yeah,
anything in the comment section for
we're
sure,
already
man.
about we're already about you know 3 quarters
Yeah,
into this live. You know.
yeah, we
Uh,
about 40 minutes in. Don't hesitate to speak up, man. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you know, remember that, but yeah, it was a guy who
No,
was
I'll
basically
definitely read up on that one for sure.
definitely read up
Yeah,
on it. But homie was basically a reseller, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But
yeah.
I guess the thing Nike seemed to seem like they were really helping us out, the sneaker community, by putting this information out there and letting her go. Like, hey, when we see stuff like this, we do something. But it's like maybe it was
What
deeper than that. Maybe they just
what's
didn't.
it?
Maybe they just. I think maybe the part that probably upset them the most is like, hey, that's not what the. We don't care that your son's reselling our products and getting tips and
Hmm.
tricks of where to go get these shoes at the
Hmm.
because he was getting them at the they have outlets, Nike outlets, where
Hmm.
say like
Yeah,
stuff gets into outlets, the B grades and stuff like
yeah,
that. But
hmm,
I guess maybe the issue was using the company credit card.
yeah. Because there's nothing wrong with going and buy a shoe and
Yeah, but
sell
I
it.
guess the
Oh,
issue was like, hey, Nike, like, hey, now you're using our money though. Use your own credit card.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe that was the issue. I don't know. But yeah, so but I just feel like they pick and choose, and we said this last week when we were talking about other our topic last week. Whenever they pick and choose who they want to go after, and like you said, this one's been. I maybe this is another thing that I would want to bring up too. Like maybe do you think Nike should maybe go around have somebody go around and inspect these places that resell, like some of the bigger resale companies, and like see what's really going on?
Okay. Okay. Well then they'll have
I
to
mean,
be
but do you think they
if they're
really?
gonna
Do
do
you
that.
think they really
If they,
care though? Do you think they really care?
no, no. And if they were gonna do that, then they would need to go to all these sneaker cons, to all these resellers who have 20 plus pair of the same shoe to sell. How the heck did you get 20 pairs? Did you go to 10 different sites and buy 5 pair of that same shoe when it's probably a limit of only 2 pair anyway? So how are these resellers getting these shoes to sell to the resellers that's taking them back to their shops to sell them? You know?
But it also raises another question for me that I probably should have typed in is the fact that how is it that they're so like comfortable with like why are they so hard on like like Foot Locker and them for whatever reason? Like they seem like, hey, if you ever try to
Agreed, Dan.
whenever you see like Foot Locker them, sometimes they'll have like I remember on East Bay as well, they'd be like one shoe per customer or one
Yeah,
per
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
transaction. Why are they so hard on them? But then it's like when it gets to the resellers, it's like if they're gonna start being silent partners with the resellers, then why not? And that's another thing. How hard is it? And I hate to keep picking at Nike because we can go with Adidas and the other brands too. Nike just is. I think it's safe to say Nike is more popular than
Because because the mainstream market is more regulated and the resale market is unregulated. You can do what you want. You can sell how many you want. There's no cap on how many shoes you sell. But in the general market, they're gonna give you a fighting chance, a fair fight to get the shoe. And then that's where that unregulated market comes in to say, hey, if you didn't get it here, you can go out there and get whatever shoe you want, but what are you willing to pay for that shoe? We'll give you a chance to get it equally at a fair fight at a fair price. But at a certain point, it's like there's another market, there's another option. You know,
yeah. Do you think they help or hurt the sneaker community?
uh, depends on depends on how they approach it because you got to think you got some Robin Hoods out there. You do got some Robin Hoods. Let's be honest. You got some Robin Hoods out there that don't mind taking from the big boys, and helping the little guys out who can't get that Travis Scott shoe, who can't get that Sakai, who can't get that Pata. You know.
But they gonna make sure their bills are well paid in the
Uh,
process. Dan Anderson just said
exactly.
something. He says
Exactly.
Nike is the main company that we all cannot eat never. Let me restart over. My bad. Nike is the main company that we all cannot ever get certain shoes from. We don't have that problem with any other brand. Is their brand? Well, I'm gonna argue that because Adidas, and when I say Adidas, I might as well just say Yeezy. They're hard to get as well, but that's a whole nother story. But I feel like, yeah, Yeezys are hard to get. We can say that.
Yeezy is almost like Jordan. It's like you don't really associate Yeezy with Adidas. Like you're not gonna really say Jordan with Nike.
Yeah. 310
It's
kick
almost
says 310 kick says resellers that hurt the community are those that are supplied by Nike representatives.
man. Like I said, yeah, you got those Robin Hoods out there that are for the people and that want to help and want to make sure that you get what you want. Then you got like those people like like Stadium Goods, like no, let me not. No, okay, you got those people out there that are only in it for profit and for themselves. You know, they
Right.
don't care. They don't care about selling a 12-year-old a $2,200 shoe. What does that mean to them?
Right. And I think that's what I miss about the sneaker community. Dan Anderson said hurts for sure, which I'm assuming he says sneaker resellers hurt the community more than help it. And I'm gonna agree with him to a certain
Yeah.
extent. I'm gonna say
Like I said,
there's a gray area because I have sold some shoes as well. But I don't try to crack people over the head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do try to break even because I really don't really want it anymore.
well, yeah, but
And then we got
it's
go ahead.
like I say, you got yeah, you got those people that legitly they buy the shoe. Like I say, you got the people. It's three different categories that I'm gonna break this down in. You got the people who luck up and are able to get the shoe. Case in point, like you just went through with your off white ducks. You were one of the very rare people who were able to get the shoe, but you got the shoe and genuinely it just wasn't for you. So you sold it to someone who would have enjoyed it, right? And that's being an honest reseller. You got the shoe, just wasn't for you. So hey, you put it back out there in
But
the market. and
Is there a
then
different? Is there a difference between being an honest reseller and selling it back for retail to break even, or being
that's
an
what I was
honest
gonna get at.
reseller and making sure you get you eat a little bit?
Well, obviously you're gonna. Well, Nike is gonna make sure they eat because that's why they put tax on
No, I'm just talking about forget Nike for a second. I'm just talking
it. Okay.
reseller. The reseller, say I get the shoe, I don't like it, and I know it's a hype shoe, but I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Should I do the loyal thing to the sneaker community and sell it for retail? Which at that point, it's a gray area because people almost be like, "Damn, what's wrong with it? Is it really a real thing?"
Well, no, yeah, exactly. Because like I say, to sell it back at retail, you're gonna have 1,000 people hit you up in just a minute. If
Right.
you put if you put a shoe on there for less or equal value of what it was originally going for, you're gonna you're gonna probably run into more problems than you are a legit seller because you're gonna have more people asking you what's wrong with it, why are you selling it so cheap, to the point where you're just gonna be like, well, I don't even want to sell it no more, or I'm just gonna put it
Right.
up and sell it for what I want to sell it for because I tried to do the right thing, and you guys made it. You guys turned it into a bad thing, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So no, you always gonna put it for more than what you got it for because, like you say, it's gonna for one give you your money back, plus make you feel like you actually made an investment and got something back out of it rather than just saying, because if you're gonna just sell it for what you bought it for, you just take it back to the store and get
Yeah.
somebody
Oh
else.
yeah. You could just return it. That
Yeah.
valid
So
point. You
no,
might as
I
well
mean
just
that
yeah.
wouldn't
You
make
might as
it
well just return it.
that
But you
wouldn't
can
make it a
return it.
resold shoe.
A lot of people don't know this. You I've know somebody who's had a Nike product for over 2 years and returned it and got their money back. Just FYI.
Yeah.
But let me catch up on these comments real quick.
Yeah.
Dan Anderson said, "Every shoe a reseller takes is yeah, it's a loss to someone else who wanted to wear the shoe. That's just my opinion."
Exactly. Yeah. You're
Valid
right.
point. We got Alan Gonzalez. He says, "I feel like the rules are set, but everyone that has some power, they can move inventory on the side, backdoor, and all that stuff. Sneaker stores, people got ties with resellers. You can say this about any." And he says some more. Any trade, true.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said the whole world is a resale. The whole world is a resale. You
Yeah.
know?
And then, like, I guess I just missed the older days where people actually did it for, and I could,
For the
I
love.
can,
And
yeah,
it
for the
wasn't just
love. And I hate to be, I don't want to sound like a little sob story or a sad story where it's like, because I've had this conversation with people who aren't. And this is the thing. I'm gonna say this little small story for you guys. People, if anybody knows anything about me, when you think of me, like one thing you say, Jeremy loves, he's into sneakers. So I had a person hit me up and they be like, "Yo, this person giving away a raffle. If I hit on these, which one should I go for and what's the price?" They wanted me to give them the spill on how to, like, us. I think it's safe to say if I really wanted to, I could probably I don't want to because it's a pain. It's annoying whenever, even when I resell a shoe, it annoys me because it's inconvenient for me. That's why I don't want to do it. But neither here nor there. They was like, "Yo, what should I go for? This and you know about this? Tell me what this blah blah." I told them you got to put your own work in around here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because we're not me. When I sell a shoe, it's truly a shoe that I really wanted, and then when I got it, I'm like, I didn't want it as much as I want to, or I'm not wearing it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. But a person was like, they're doing it just for. I ain't gonna say it, it's a love hate for me.
Okay,
For
say this too. Say let's say this too. Should there be like a rule set in place where, say, as a reseller, you should, in order to show that shoe, it has to be certified that it's authentic first before it can actually sell for what you want for it. Because anybody can get any shoe and sell it for what they want. And if a person really wants that shoe that bad, they don't care if it's fake. They don't care what it is. But should there be like some type of rule set in place for say independent resellers? Like say like case in point, like just a regular Joe Blow like us. Should there be some type of process that you have to go through, like a form or something that you have to put out as your own? Because obviously you're an independent business, you know. So should there be rules for resellers to say that any shoe they sell, it has to go through this place before you can personally sell it yourself too?
Oh, you trying to treat it like some game tie stuff? You got to get certified in this before you could just.
Well, yeah, because
I
it's
mean, yes
it's an
and no.
unregulated market. It's an unregulated market where people can sell fakes and UAs and pass them as real. And like I
I
said,
think that's the biggest problem for me is not only are you cracking people on over the head, but you also making your best judgment at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Unless
yeah,
you
yeah.
know for a 100% fact you got it from Nike
But
or Adidas.
how you may know you got it from Nike or Adidas, but how do I know that you got it from Nike or Adidas? And
Exactly. And
just because
I don't
I
know.
put
I don't know if
personal,
you. I don't know if you purchased off the sneakers app recently, but they don't come with receipt
I don't want
anymore.
to talk about them. I don't want to talk about them right
I'm just saying
now.
they don't come with receipts anymore. They haven't come
Yeah.
with receipts in years, so that's
Okay, Dan has
no
something to
form of
say.
proof. Let me Dan Anderson says, I mean resellers on a larger scale, it's on a larger scale. If you sell your own personal shoe and personal shoe, there is nothing wrong with that. And
But
that's kind of
again,
what I do. I because anybody who's ever bought shoe from me, one thing you're about to notice, I'm gonna say this. Anytime you know it was something that was intentionally for me, it's always gonna be my size. I'm a 10. And occasionally I get a 10 and a half depending on how the shoe fits, but I stay right there at 10 and a half. Now, these Yeezy sizings, you have to go a full size up. So if I do sell something that's like an 11, know that I'm doing it and it has to be like a Yeezy type thing. But it's always been my own personal shoe for my own collection where I'm like, hey, I no
so
longer. But
how do you
that's how it used to be. It felt like back in the day.
so how do you feel about that? What I brought up about? Do you think that there should be some type of uh
Um,
guide or regulation that
nah,
independent sellers should have to go through?
nah. I mean, yes and no. Because I kind of, when I went off on the person that was asking me questions,
Because
I basically said, I was like, yo, don't have this conversation with me unless you really in the game. If you really about the sneaker culture, then I'll have a
Mhm,
conversation with you about flipping a shoe or two. But as a person, there's nothing more annoying is whenever a person I know that's doing it for money and they
mhm.
don't know, you know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing. You know, like I know I can ask probably one, two, three questions and see how long you've been in the game or not.
Mhm.
But this
Yeah.
particular person, they didn't know hell, they didn't know anything about sneakers, and it's other stuff about them that I didn't really care for in particular. But
Mhm.
I really didn't like the fact that they didn't have the sneaker knowledge. I was like, you're not, you know what I'm saying? At least I would hope the person that's reselling a shoe knows something. But again, this has been proven on. I've caught a couple of Cool Kicks videos where people ask certain questions, and the guy's like, I don't even know what dunk this is, but you got it and you're selling it in your store. But on the flip side,
He's just an employee.
nah, he's the owner. He's the
With
co-owner.
the
It's not,
guy the I think I know the guy you're talking about is not the one with the glasses. I don't know. Yeah, if I'm
yeah,
allowed to say that.
yeah. It's
Okay.
him. He wear the glasses, and he's the one that's
Yeah.
always saying. He's always saying we got a legend in the building, and even though the person
Yeah.
is likely not a legend, I
They only
mean,
been out
yeah,
for 3 months.
I'm gonna just say this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this. Did you see the Whoa? Did you see the Whoa Vicky episode?
Nah, I wouldn't even.
Do you know who Whoa? Do you
I
know
wouldn't
who
even
Whoa?
hurt my eyes. I
I'm gonna.
wouldn't
Do
even
you know who
put
Whoa? Do
myself
you know
through
who
that
Whoa Vicky is? Do you know who Whoa Vicky is?
if the world did it though. I know who Wolf Vicky is.
Would you consider her a legend? And if so, name one of her songs. I'll wait. I'll wait.
That's not even shoe related, so I'm not even gonna talk about her. She's not a legend.
Valid,
Or
cool.
don't
We're
even
gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna read off the rest of Dan Anderson's comment. He says, or you can look at it differently. Maybe the sneakers are actually worth $1,000 and Nike just gives us them very cheap. You never know. The reason I'm gonna argue that, Dan Anderson, is the fact that even if it's worth and you're gonna I know your
I,
rebuttal where you can go with this, but it's
I don't
like
think.
it's hard for me to
Well,
accept that the shoe was worth $1,000 when it took them how much to make for real. Do you think it took them $1,000 to make it?
not even the Dior, not even the Dior shoes cost $1,000 to make. but they were able to slap a $2,000 price tag on them
But
out the
I think,
door.
yeah, but I think what Dan Anderson is saying is like, of course, it may be cheaper to make it, but the value of it, some stuff goes up over time, some stuff doesn't. Sneakers go up
Mhm.
over time. So, like I said, it's a gray area. Do I think a shoe is worth thousands of dollars? Really, it's kind of depend. It really depends on the person. And to be honest, I say us as a sneaker community make these things worth way more than what they are because we really care about them.
Mhm. Mhm.
But um,
Mhm.
Alan Gonzalez says the only reason I got into buying resale was not having nice kicks as a teen. Yeah, the only reason I got into buying resale was not having nice kicks as a teen. Then it became a little bit of an addiction. Now that I'm older, I'm hesitant to pay over $200 for sneakers. Valid. That's the same thing because my dad, he bought me night. Don't get me wrong, my parents got me everything I needed, but one thing my dad would always make it plain and clear, like his exact words, I wasn't paying $100 for no Jordans. You know what I'm saying? No sneakers. And
I think it was a little. I think there were a few more words thrown in there, but
yeah, you know how my dad
just
talks.
for the
Yeah,
just for the children watching, we're gonna keep it at. I'm not paying $100 for a pair of Jordans.
you're right, but it was much deeper than that. And
Yeah.
at the time, I really didn't understand. And do I pay
Hmm.
$100 and over for shoes? Of course, but I definitely
Honestly, I don't
see.
think you can. I don't think that uh, $100 shoe exists anymore. I mean, come out at $100, but as soon as it hits the public, it's up there. Unless it's just like a shoe that's just all too common that you just walk into a store on a Wednesday at 12:30 in the afternoon and just go buy it. You know?
True. And those that would be the shoes that are sitting like ducks because there are some shoes that didn't sell out and you can just go get them. But at the same time, it's one of those. Let's just say this: Will you ever? Do you think you'll ever see a Travis Scott sneaker sitting?
I mean, if
No.
they get to the point, if they get to the point where the 350s were almost going, you know, because for a while I almost gave up on the 350s because they were just dropping a new color every week.
I'm gonna be honest. I just like the OG colorways when it comes to the
Mhm.
350s.
Okay,
Um,
no, yeah, Alan, yeah, no,
that's what he
I'm
said.
almost
I'm gonna
I'm
read
almost
it.
positive.
I'm gonna read his comment. So Alan Gonzalez says, "I got an LB wallet that cost me $600. I wonder how much it costs to be made. Hopefully Nike doesn't turn into an LV or Gucci. Yeah, I know. I hope not either.
Well, no, because they're already going that way. You see what they got the Dior's. Now what's coming up next? They got the Louis Vuitton Air Force
Yeah, they
Ones
got
that's
the
coming out.
collaborations. They do
So
got the
they are
collaboration.
going. So the high fashion streetwear collabs
Yeah, they're
are becoming a
collaborating and
thing.
working. They're
That's
collaborating and working together.
that's becoming a thing because you got to think they've already done what they could with the regular market on shoes. They've done colorways. They've done streetwear collabs. The only market that hasn't been tapped yet was the streetwear high fashion collabs. And there they know they can get their money because they know people are willing to pay. They know the branding is behind Nike already got the loyal following, and that those same people probably like Louis Vuitton, probably like Dior, probably like Chanel, you know, because I've only seen Adidas and Chanel, honestly, and that shoe, which is kind of a rare shoe, uh, but yeah, like I said, I see the high fashion streetwear collabs becoming way more of a thing,
Yeah, it's definitely something they're
Okay,
doing it
I know,
slowly but
I,
surely. So yeah, like they're definitely working with
I know.
the high brands. And then I don't know if you remember, I know it's a little off mode, but even Supreme had a collab with Louis Vuitton as well. So that
That
was
did it. How was that authentic though? Because didn't they pull that fast when they did like the
no
suitcase, right?
no, they did the all red joint. They had like hoodies and everything.
Uh,
You don't
well,
remember that?
yeah, but I remember the suitcase thing where it was like fraud, where they didn't approve that. So it was like
Oh,
something.
I thought see, I didn't know. I thought it was approved.
No, they pulled that. That was definitely
No wonder I can't
pretty-
find it nowhere anymore. I
yeah,
mean, obviously it
yeah,
was gonna
nah,
sell out, but it's like I don't see nobody in it or none of that stuff anymore.
yeah, nah. It's yeah, nah, that's gone. But yeah, like I say, I see that being the next thing. We're gonna start seeing a lot more of these high fashion
Yeah, see, I thought
streetwear.
this was so they pulled this. This what I was talking about. They pulled this.
That that suitcase, I don't think it was ever legit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
nothing. I don't think that was ever legit. That was it was made. It was made like pretty much like it was made, but
But see, I
whenever.
like you know me. I'm a sucker for red, so I wanted this stuff.
Yeah,
But at the
exactly.
prices, I was like, I ain't about
Well,
that.
you gotta think. You gotta think. Back then, say like this, when all this went on, because this was quite a few years ago. It was still a new concept to see collaborations like that, and then to see a $9,000 handbag, a $9,000 duffel bag.
Right?
That was kind of. But see now, that's common, and you got people paying that retail like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been on for surpassed our hour.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour and 6 minutes to be exact, man. We about to wrap things up. Great live
And
as usual, man. Great topic,
yeah,
great discussion.
enjoyed it as always. Man.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Y'all make sure y'all
Yeah.
smash the
Thank you
like
guys.
button,
Yeah.
man. We wrapping things up. Be sure to comment down in the comment section if you didn't get your things out in the actual live chat. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through, man. If y'all are feeling Soul Saturdays, man, we trying to come every Saturday. So y'all
Yeah.
smash that like button to let us know. That keeps us motivated to let us know to keep, pushing out more topics and pushing out more content, man. And
Exactly.
again,
You
this is
know.
just open. This is just open discussion. This ain't taking shots at nobody. This ain't saying check is a bad, not none of that. This is just open discussion about the sneaker community in general. Feel
Personal
free to
opinion.
come through and
Personal opinion.
express your opinions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and definitely let my boy Devin Dunk shout his stuff out, and we working on his channel because we definitely have the lives backed up on his channel just as well. So he's got his YouTube channel forming as well. So shout your stuff out, man.
Mhm. You know, just like every other video, just follow us on Instagram at Sold Out. We also have YouTube under the same name, Sold Out. Yeah, right now we're just piggybacking, posting the same lives that we put on there. So in case for some reason, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to watch it on this channel, it's available on there. Uh, I post a lot of the TikTok content that I put. I post a lot of that on the sold out IG. So yeah, just
You got your TikTok. I mean TikTok. See, I don't even
TikTok.
really do TikTok, but
Yeah,
you
no,
got
no.
your you got your
TikTok
TikTok information. What's your TikTok information?
sold out. Everything's
Sold
sold out
out.
across the board.
Yes.
Yep.
So check out the
Yeah.
TikTok for sure. He running the TikTok. We kind of managing the Instagram together, and of course we running
Yeah.
these lives together, man. We appreciate y'all for coming through. Smash
Thank
that
you
like
guys
button,
so
and
much.
we out, man.
Hey, thank you guys.
Later.